My name is Brittany, and as a nurse, it's important to know the different types of medications that you're giving your patients. On top of that, it's very important to know different herbs and oils they may be using at home as a more holistic approach to medicine. With the rising popularity of aromatherapy and essential oils in the US, I found that it was important to talk about essential oils today. The history of the oils, the grading and the regulation of them, different routes of administration, and perceived benefits of the use of them is what I'm going to be covering today. So let's put these oils to the test and diffuse into the first topic. The history of oils goes pretty far back in the world. To start off with, essential oils are concentrated liquids from plants. And they have been known to be around since all the way back to 4500 BC in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians used myrrh and sandalwood to purify air and embalm pharaohs when they were buried. And actually in 1922, when they uncovered King Tut's tomb, grave, whatever you would call it back then, he was actually buried with 350 liters of essential oils along with like silver and gold. So it is now known because of that obviously oils were very valuable to them and very rare if they were being buried with pharaohs. Another story about essential oils in the history is in the year 1413, and this is called the thieves' story. So there were thieves that were running around during the Great Plague, pretty much stealing everyone's stuff while they were just laying on the floor dying. Eventually, obviously, they got caught, and the king was like, okay, how are you not getting this plague? Like, if you tell me what you're doing so that I can save myself and my children, I'll grant you freedom. So they told him that their ancestors were like into holistic medicine and stuff. And they're like, we pretty much cover our entire body with a blend of essential oils that include many different oils, but mostly clove and rosemary. And they claimed that this was why they didn't catch it. So now actually today, one of the leading companies that produces essential oils is called Young Living. And they have a whole oil blend called the Thieves, which is dedicated to that story and is the blend that they claim to have used. Another story is during that same plague, there were towns in Europe that were part of the lavender trade. And so their towns were just surrounded by lavender fields. And they claimed that the whole towns were just like immune to this plague and none of them got it. So that was another example. Moving on to the grading and regulation. In the US, medication, food, cosmetics, all of that is regulated by the FDA. There aren't any grading systems for oils saying like this one's better than this one or this one's better than this one. So that means there's really no guarantee when it comes to them. So if you're a consumer, you just need to be really well educated on what you're buying. For like a general rule of thumb, they should be sold in a dark amber glass bottle to protect them from light rays. The label should state the Latin name of the plant so you know where it's derived from, and the source should be a reliable company that you've done research on. When it comes to regulation, FDA does not just do studies on oils. They pretty much only get involved when it comes to they have claims that they're harmful or a company like claims that they can cure, prevent, or treat diseases, then they have to get involved. Routes of administration, there's many different types of routes. The most common are inhalation and massage. So with massages, they pretty much use a carrier oil like grapeseed oil or coconut oil, and they add drops of the concentrated essential oil into it. And that carrier oil just kind of acts like a better way to spread it out and make more use of it than if you were just to put a few drops on yourself. People also use it that way, but it's definitely more common to mix it with base oils. The next one is inhalation. That can be done through like hot baths, aroma sticks, sprays, or just breathing straight out of the bottle that it comes in. And that creates many psychological effects like sedation, mood alteration, and emotional changes. And with that, this is an example of a diffuser. So this one is actually from that brand, Young Living, and it has this glass dome on top. This just traps in the mist. And then on the bottom, this is a base that plugs into the wall. It's electric, so it's known as an ultrasonic diffuser. So it creates vibrations in a little disc in the bottom, and it kind of shakes all the molecules and makes them into little pieces that eventually get sent out in a mist with the water. And all diffusers look different. There are obviously a little bit of a design aspect in them. Another mode of administration is ingestion. Eating oils, it's not recommended because they're so highly concentrated and can be very irritating to your intestines. And any doctor who's ever talked about ingestion talks about that you need proper education and training. There are many benefits that can be achieved with the use of oils. There was actually a study done in 2015 done on lemon and peppermint in pregnant women who are experiencing nausea and vomiting. They did a parallel randomized study, and they found that the intervention group with the women who were receiving the lemon and peppermint actually did see a decrease in nausea and vomiting. And there are many other research studies on it. But then specifically oils, different oils have different effects. So to reduce anxiety, you may diffuse orange or lavender. To sleep better, you can also use lavender, and oils like peppermint and citrus oils can often give energy boosts. In conclusion, essential oils are becoming very popular in the US today. They age all the way back to 4500 BC in ancient Egypt. They're very concentrated, and they're typically applied topically or inhaled rather than ingested. They can offer many benefits like mood boosts, reduction of anxiety, and medicinal qualities. And as we continue to gain more and more knowledge, we may see advancements in their use in our everyday life. Thank you.
Good job.
Good job.
Yeah, good job.
Sorry, guys.